In simple terms, bikepacking is riding a bike for multiple days to somewhere or around somewhere, utilizing a more off-road, the path less travelled approach. Bikepacking can be as long or as short as you like. It can often be done as part of an event where riders will make their way through a course. The rider will have to overcome whatever challenges the trails will throw at them, completely self-supported in a bikepacking event. Normally to be the fastest rider around a set route that will normally take multiple days to complete. Riders will often have to make it to checkpoints along the route in a bikepacking event. With the bikepacking popularity growing over the last few years, the lines have blurred between what bikepacking and bicycle touring is. Bikepacking can and is a form of bicycle touring, of course, but is bicycle touring bikepacking? Well, that depends who you ask. They both have a lot in common. However, there are some differences that can be made. You can use bikepacking bags while touring and touring bags, pannier bags, while bikepacking. Bicycle touring can be long or short, but bicycle touring has a history of being longer, slower, and a way of travelling by bicycle. The difference really comes from the terrain taken to get to your destination. Bicycle touring will typically use paved surfaces, quiet country roads, bicycle routes, and paths. Whereas bikepacking, you will find yourself taking the more remote off-road route, often on more rougher surfaces. While bikepacking often avoids the bigger built-up cities and towns and stays in the remote locations of mountains, national parks, bicycle touring will often be travelling to these towns and cities, often to stay for a few days to explore the sights, as bicycle touring often has the emphasis on slower travel and sightseeing. This can also be true for bikepacking, of course, but traditionally bikepacking will take you away from these built-up places and you will spend more time in nature. As a result, bikepacking bikes tend to be packed differently than a bicycle touring bike. Often, but not always, a bikepacking bike will be set up with bigger tyres for off-road trails and packed in a more minimalist approach, as being off-road means the weight of the bike can have a bigger effect on the handling, whereas a bicycle touring bike is often loaded with more creature comforts, normally with a full pannier setup, normally in a more upright position, promoting a slower but comfortable way of travelling. Bikepacking, there is often a need or desire to travel further and faster, so the bike setup will often be set up trying to find the perfect balance for speed and comfort for the individual rider. As you can see, the difference between bikepacking and bicycle touring have a lot of similarities. Whether you are bikepacking or bicycle touring, it doesn't really matter. There are differences between the two, but how you want to go on an adventure matters more than what group you want to place yourself into. I think it's important to know these differences to understand what you might be getting yourself into though. The last thing you want to be doing is setting off on a bikepacking route and thinking it's going to be a touring route and end up a mountain with the wrong bike and equipment. So it's important to know the difference between a bicycle touring route and a bikepacking route.